Some 40 years ago, Metallica was formed in the early 80s, and today I'm going to tell you why this band has influenced me so much in my taste in metal music. Let's get to it. So, how did I discover Metallica? Well, back at the beginning of 2019, at that time, I was fairly early in my metal journey, I like to call it. I was listening to a lot of symphonic metal, gothic metal, black metal, even death metal, a bit of deathcore and metalcore here and there. And then I guess what happened was I decided to look into the earlier stage of metal, so stuff from the late 70s or the 1970s and the 80s and that kind of stuff, because a lot of the stuff I'd been listening to were from, the mid 90s and onwards. So I looked on the internet, and a lot of people were saying, Metallica's, classic metal band. Even a lot of people who don't really listen to metal know about Metallica because of, the Black Album that got them mainstream on the radios and stuff with, Enter Sandman and all those songs. So I decided to, go back to the start and listen to their first two albums, which were Kill Them All and Ride the Lightning, or Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, which were their first debut albums, kind of released in the mid-80s. Really fast, really intense, really raw. Obviously the band has, refined their sound over the years, but those first two albums were pretty thrashy, as, some people say. So these two albums, I guess, influenced my taste in later metal, particularly like, classic old school metal. And as soon as I heard the first song of Kill 'Em All, which was Hit the Lights, I was it's hard to explain. I was in a trance. I remember I was on a road trip to a rural town in Victoria, and I had my headphones, put the album on and listened to it, and Hit the Lights came on, and instantly I was hooked. I was absolutely in love with the sound, the vocals, the bass, the guitars. Everything was really cool. And all the other songs from that album that came on, just trying to remember, because I don't remember listening to them in order. I remember Pulling Teeth. I remember first listening to Pulling Teeth, and I was like, what the hell is this song? And obviously as time went by, I kind of learnt that it was a bass solo that Cliff Burton, the late Metallica bassist, performed. Four Horsemen, great song. Whiplash, Phantom Lord, all those songs, they really got me into Metallica. And listening to their first album gave me a real taste of what they used to be back some 35-40 years ago. So I guess they've influenced my taste in that manner by getting me onto, a lot of classic bands, obviously Megadeth, Pantera, Slayer, all those other bands that at the time when I was younger, I kind of knew they existed, but didn't really listen to them because I was kind of into the newer stuff, black metal, deathcore, metalcore, all that stuff. So I guess in the next little clip, I'll talk about how this band has influenced my bass playing as a musician, which is probably going to be the bulk of this video. So let's get to it. So around about the same time I discovered Metallica, I'd actually picked up playing bass. So I'd bought a, $100 bass and amp kit. So it was a budget bass, did the job. The amp was a bit crackly, but doesn't matter. And I started playing a bit of simple stuff, like Pink Floyd, because I like Pink Floyd as well. And I've been listening to them for a while before that, probably even before I got into metal. But anyway, so I was playing that kind of stuff, some really basic stuff, focusing on technique, watching heaps of videos, and just learning, keeping at it every day, and just practicing, which we all know, the more we practice, the better we get. But in terms of Metallica, they really they really sort of influenced my technique, particularly their early stuff. Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets, Justice, all those albums, they really influenced my bass playing. And I remember the first song I learned on, the first Metallica song I learnt on bass was For Whom the Bell Tolls from the album Ride the Lightning. Because I saw someone cover that song on YouTube, and the thing that got me the most was the intro, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do on the bass, which I actually thought was on the guitar. And then when I saw someone and a lot of other YouTubers playing it on the bass, I was like, holy shit, this is a bass arrangement. And I just thought it was so cool with all the distortion and stuff, so I decided to learn it myself. And even though it's a really awesome song, it's a really beginner-friendly song to learn. It's a slow, medium-paced song, so it's not really fast. You don't have to have speed, which at the time I didn't. And it was really, really nice once I'd sort of learnt it and learnt, the bare bones of that song, and to go on and, just play it along to the song. And it was just really satisfying and really fun, and I got really good really good feelings from it. So that was my first interaction with Metallica in terms of playing bass. And then from there I kind of focused on songs from the album Ride the Lightning. So obviously Ride the Lightning, Fight Fire with Fire, Call of Cthulhu, Fade to Black. That was another one. I think that may have been the second song I learned, again because it was easy, and obviously as a beginner you look to the easy songs. But again, a really, really good, solid song to learn. And later on, I got into other albums from Metallica, such as Master of Puppets and Kill 'Em All, and Justice for All, and even parts of the Black Album, Load, Death Magnetic, or even their newer stuff. And then here we are today. I still love playing Metallica every now and then, and a little bit of technique influence. So Cliff Burton he played with his fingers. Obviously Jason Newsted, which was the next bassist after Cliff Burton passed away, played with a pick. I do play with a pick, but I'm not as good with my fingers because I started with my fingers. But I guess a really good technique that Cliff's playing taught me was playing with 3 fingers, so galloping and just playing with three fingers for extra speed, and sort of putting really cool soloing parts into songs on the bass. And I guess that's kind of my main technique now. I play with a lot of 2 and 3 finger bass technique on my right hand, and try and play as fast as possible, increasing speed, getting faster, getting stronger, getting better kind of thing. So that's I guess what's happened with as a result of me discovering Metallica. I've sort of really developed a technique that I still use to this day on bass, and apply to my own music when I play bass for my own music, when I do black metal covers, black metal music. So and with that, thanks Metallica for giving me that opportunity to discover them and play their music and really enjoy their music. I've even managed to learn a couple of riffs on guitar. Obviously I'm not as good on guitar as bass because I've been playing bass quite a bit longer. But, over the years I've come a long way in terms of learning a lot of their songs. I've learnt pretty much all of Ride the Lightning. Big emphasis on learnt. I've not by any means mastered these songs, but I've learnt them to a point where I could play something and someone who knew those songs would recognize them, what they are. So I guess in the next clip I'll be heading inside and showing you a few bass lines that have really, really got me hooked onto playing bass on Metallica songs. And probably won't be talking, so I'll just be doing a little bit of a compilation of those songs. It's not a long list. It's 4 or 5 songs that I think have really influenced my taste. And then I guess that'll end the video. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my little story on one of the bands that really got me inspired to be playing bass, playing guitar, making music. Even though the music I make isn't necessarily that same type of music that Metallica or any of those other old school bands made, they've just in general inspired me to continue to make my own music, make my own sort of band name and all that kind of stuff. Do heaps of research on different techniques and different ways just to make me a better bass player and a better overall musician. So next up is the series of bass riffs that I really loved when I was younger and still love today. That'll be playing on bass for you. So let's head inside and enjoy.